now turn up.
What up is Marcus with Dynasty Football Dads. We have a big conundrum. It is the Kyle Pitts conundrum. We're just going to keep going through it, but Jerry Jeudy, free signed jersey. All you have to do is be subscribed for a chance to win. We are getting closer and closer to 1K, and that has not been super long, and we're already in the 800s. Pretty awesome. So, Kyle Pitts, to draft, not to draft, where is he at? What are we doing? Oh my goodness, maybe one of the most crucial and important picks, especially rookie picks that I have ever seen, because, I mean, this is ultimately an incredible, like, he is being drafted 103 in standard drafts right now. 103 in one QB drafts. He keeps moving on up. And I wouldn't be surprised if he leapfrogs Jamar Chase. Because, in fact, I would rather, just looking at him, if you're going to just draft Jamar Chase, if you have other picks, I'm just going to take Kyle Pitts. Because there are reasons for it. And the reasons for it are because there's other wide receivers that I think I can also get value from, compared to Kyle Pitts versus Pat Freiermuth, and Kyle Pitts versus Brevin Jordan or any other Hunter Long or any other tight ends. So, there are things for and against Kyle Pitts, but let's go with for, because Kyle Pitts, we're just going to go through 6'6", 245, runs a 4.44 440. We already know all these things. We know that these things because it's been widely advertised that he is an amazing spark athlete. We're talking 87th percentile. His breakout age is 19.9, which is awesome for a tight end. His yards per catch, 77th percentile. His college dominator, 74th percentile. Pretty much every burst, agility, speed, catch radius, 40-yard dash, all those things are in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and sometimes he's 99th percentile on a 40-yard dash. 90th percentile. 99th, sorry. And 98th in speed. So we're talking about Kyle Pitts, an amazing tight end. And you look at his production-wise, too. I mean, he played 8 games. 8 games, and he had 43 catches, 770 yards, and 12 touchdowns in 8 games. And you watch Kyle Trask on how bad he was a quarterback in the playoffs. That is because Kyle Trask was missing Kyle Pitts. And he was missing Kadarius Toney, but he was missing Kyle Pitts. And that was the big key. So just looking at where Kyle Pitts is being drafted, again, number 3 right now, ahead of Travis Etienne, of Javonte Williams. I think Javonte Williams and Travis Etienne going to those 2 locations was a big downgrade. Not even downgrade for them, but I think just enough for Kyle Pitts. People were going to go like, I want this generational tight end. He is being widely considered tight end 5 or tight end 6 right now in Dynasty as a whole. And so that's behind Mark Andrews, Hawkinson, Kittle, Andrew. I might say Andrews already again, but then Kelsey. Pretty much that. But let's look at what are the biggest, I think, argue against Kyle Pitts. And the biggest argue against is he has to be an amazing tight end. And we are talking about like a tight end 1 or 2 for his value to get basically value back for where you're drafting him at 103. Because when you look at top scoring tight end, yes, that is going to be a huge and far away advantage. We're talking about Kittle and Kelsey. Those tight ends are amazing tight ends. I mean, we're talking about tight ends that give yourself basically a 5-point advantage, a little bit more than 5-point advantage when it comes to over the tight end 5. But we look at from tight end 5, or actually tight end 4 to tight end 12, it's a 2.65 point differential in the last 17, 18, 19, 20, 4 years. I just had to do the math. 4 years, 2.6 differential from tight end 4 to tight end 12. So you are giving up, if you need him to be a top 3 tight end, as easily as what this says. This comes down to it. Do you believe Kyle Pitts is a top 3 tight end? And how quickly do you believe that it will happen? That it means he's going to have to jump Waller. He's going to have to jump Andrews. He's going to have to jump Hawkinson. He's going to have to jump all those tight ends. He's going to have to be right behind basically Kittle and Kelsey. Do you think that happens? And how quickly do you think it's going to happen? Because people are going to start seeing, if it doesn't happen, let's say, it doesn't happen the rookie year. Well, let's say you have to wait till year 3. By that time, a lot of Kyle Pitts owners are probably going to be selling off because they're probably going to be like, well, I'm not getting a huge advantage. I'm not getting a huge advantage at that position compared to Hawkinson or compared to maybe Fance or some of these other tight ends. So I'm just going to trade him for another asset at a lower price. So that is your biggest thing. Is we see all these high drafted tight ends, Hawkinson, Fance, and all that. And what are they really worth when it comes to the dynasty trade calculators and stuff like that? Well, Hawkinson's right now worth about between 104 and 105. So do you believe that basically a Hawkinson now, do you think Pitts could be that? If you think, oh, well, maybe what happens if he becomes Noah Fant? Noah Fant, we know that he was highly drafted and highly sought after. Well, he's worth about 109. 109. So that's right where Kyle Pitts was, and now Kyle Pitts has exploded past that. Now we also know Evan Ingram. Oh, Evan Ingram, a guy that I liked, but was just, if you don't remember Evan Ingram, he was known as being a just stud tight end. Was he drafted 4th overall? No. But Evan Ingram is right now worth about pick 112 to 201, so pick 12 or 13. That is where, I mean, you could be really devaluing this pick. So yes, it could get better. You could get a player that is in that 103, 102, 101 range. And then ultimately, they have the other one, which is O.J. Howard, which we all know about A.J. Howard. And he's worth pretty much an early 3rd-round pick. Ugh, ouch. But, so there is bustability, but we look at some of these tight ends, and, I mean, he's going to have this tight end season we haven't seen before. Better than Evan Ingram's basically rookie record season. You're going to have a season that, again, do you believe the unicorn or do you not believe the unicorn that we've seen? That is going to be, I believe more towards that we're going to see a really good year, so don't think of what I'm not saying. But I don't think he's going to be, I can't foresee him making a huge jump from his 103 value compared to maybe a Javonte Williams or a Najee Harris type. I feel like those two running backs, you're going to see all of a sudden, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, they're going to turn into like basically J.K. Dobbins, DeAndre Swift. You're going to have a top 8 maybe running back or maybe 9, 10 running back. And that compared to like a Kelsey or a Kittle, you have to figure out what you want. But like in Dynasty, that's just going to be, honestly, I think Kyle Pitts is going to be okay the year 1. I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to have 700 yards, 5 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns. Especially if Julio's gone, that could be a huge upgrade here. But I think what's going to happen with Kyle Pitts is it's going to take a little bit of time. I believe he is the unicorn that we're looking for, but I think we have to temper expectations right away. That is going to be my biggest key. But if Julio's gone, I think you're going to see Kyle Pitts really shoot up and even go into like 102, 101 range. And I think you're going to see him being the 1st overall drafted tight end. You're going to see him in the top 3, 4 tight ends. And for a guy who's never played an NFL snap, that scares me and worries me, and I'd rather have and shift the other way. That's all I'm saying here is if you got to slow the rope, slow it down. There's some stats that say that Kyle Pitts is the man that we were looking for. There's also stats saying that no matter how great somebody is, you could always have a bust. And so before somebody even plays the field, we should be very cautious and concerning about that. I mean, I even remember, and Gesicki was, again, not highly as drafted as Kyle Pitts, but I remember Gesicki, you look at Spark Score, you look at everything, and everyone's been waiting on him. For tight ends, everyone's always waiting on some 3, 4 tight ends that are ready to break out. And you know what? Do they ever break out? Usually not. But I think Kyle Pitts is different. We just have to figure out, I mean, if you're drafting him, you're putting your money where your mouth is. I'm not drafting him 103. I am in that 105 to 108 range. Again, that's where I'm at. That's where I feel like I can get value if I do draft him. I think that's where if I can't get him, I'm rather trying to pick up, like I said, the Fants, the Hawkinsons. I'm trying to pivot the other way and then worry about, because I don't want to worry about Kyle Pitts potentially being a bust or basically not burning a 103 pick, but just waiting 2, 3, 4 years, because that's what tight ends do a lot of these times. You don't see rookie tight end seasons do well in fantasy. You just don't. So you're gonna have to again find that unicorn. Just like Rondale Moore being 5'7", you don't see 5'7" wide receivers succeed at the NFL level. You're gonna have to find the unicorn. That's what it's gonna be. All right. So this is Marcus Dynasty Football Dads. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.
Now turn up